All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. You know him and love him from this season of The Traitors. Welcome, Dylan Efron. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited that you're here. We're so excited about the way that this season ended. It was so, like, what's the word?
Poetic justice.
Yeah, like we felt we all won, you know?
I feel like for the good guys.
Exactly. We felt like we were all faithfuls. How does it feel now that the show is over and everyone's seen how it's ended?
I think there was some concern with the winners. We were like, are people going to be mad at us because we didn't start any drama? So it's been amazing that people aren't mad at us for for not taking it down to 2. It's just, I love how much everyone loves the show, because that's me. Like, I watched this show and I loved it. So it's cool to be able to be on the other side, honestly.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the 4 of you were who we were rooting for the most. I mean, especially towards the end, you have you, Gabby, Dolores, Ivor. What a fantastic group of winners. And you said you're nervous that, you guys didn't start any drama at the end, but you guys were all so likable in the show that it's like, well, we got to be happy that these 4 won. Why would we want them to turn against each other in the end? Would make great for great TV, but how can we not be happy?
We would have been so sad.
Yeah.
Exactly. We would have been so sad. Imagine, like, Dolores was just like,
It would have been
we would have been like, oh no.
Right. Well, towards the end, I mean, Dolores was just flipping over whatever name she wanted, okay? And we love Dolores, but as a viewer, we're all getting a little frustrated. We're like, stick with the plan. How did you feel during those roundtables when you're trying to get a traitor out and Dolores she just has personal feelings and she's writing them down?
That was me earlier in the season, though. I was writing Gabby's name.
Yeah.
No one was on it. So there's a lot that happens at the roundtable that isn't shown. So that last vote where Dolores wrote Tom, we sit down and Tom went on a 15-minute tirade, like, just, this is why Dolores is a traitor. It went on for 15 minutes, and then Dolores just says, like, shut the fuck up. and then we started talking about Brittany.
Yeah.
So like, that's why she was so heated and voted Tom. But in the show, it just looks like it's petty.
Yeah. Right. Well, because then they kind of made it seem like both sides were petty. Like, it just seemed like Tom was like, I really think it's Dolores. And there was no reason,
No,
like,
and I don't
logical
even think he really thought it that much. Like, Tom started to catch on at the end. He was...
Yeah, well, Tom himself, when he was out, he was like, I was the best player in this game, which was so funny and really entertaining to watch. As viewers of all reality TV, you have your, preconceived thoughts about Tom because of what he's done. But watching this show, I think he weirdly won people over because people just started accepting him for who he is. They were like, he can really be awful, but he's having the time of his life on this show.
Yeah.
And he plays that balance of, like, is he in on the joke or not? Because, like, sometimes, like, when he's talking to the statue, like, that he has to be on the joke at that point, right? Like,
I don't think he is.
I don't know.
That's why he's so interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's a self-aware man.
Yeah.
And it makes for great TV, like this season.
The singing, the challenge where he had to sing the backwards with the dolls and everything. It is funny listening to him back as it was for us watching it.
Oh, it's even funnier because, so again, like, going behind the curtain, like, Alan tells us the rules read, and then we have about an hour till that mission starts. So as soon as he reads the rules, Tom just leaves and is like, I need a cough drop, medic, I need a cough drop. And he's doing the vocal warm-ups, like the lips. And he's just singing like, la, 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 la. And we're all like, Tom, just like, it's too early for this. It's like, we're not singing for an hour.
Oh my God.
But that's what makes him so special.
Yeah.
It's like he saw his chance, he took it.
Yeah, he was like, this is my time
moment
to shine. I'm gonna get scouted on this show for my singing. What made you interested in even doing Traitors? We know that you're a big fan of Survivor. Do you love any other reality shows?
Yeah, I started watching Traitors. I started watching, like, the UK version, the Australia version. So I got hooked on that. I watched Deal or No Deal Island, like, on the way to playing the game. So it was like, that was Boston Rob's season. And then he, like, takes off his mask episode 1, and I'm like, dude, you were just on my TV. Like, get out of here. I don't want to deal with you. So I was not going to let him in the castle at first. I like a lot of them, like all the special forces. Like, I'm a fan of that It's fun when it's like real emotions.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this the first one that you've ever wanted to actually do yourself? Like, you can be a fan of the shows and watch them, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're like, I actually want to play this one.
I wanted to play Survivor too.
Yeah.
But I'd also never applied. Like, I think for me, I wasn't ready. I was watching at 12 being like, oh, I would win this. And then like, would I ever apply? No. Like I wasn't quite, I don't think I was quite ready.
Yeah.
So then this was the first year where I was like, you know what? Like this is nothing different than I do on social media. I'm playing myself, except I'm playing like at the biggest, like a kid's game at the biggest level. I was like, I can do this. So this was the first year where I entertained doing a show, and I'm happy I did.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out for you, which is amazing. I think everyone was rooting for you. And it's true what you say, you're watching Survivor as a kid, you're like, I could do this. But and then you don't sign up because you're like, well, I don't want to test that.
Yeah.
But for this, it really turned out amazing for you. How did you originally get approached, or did you apply?
I actually don't know. So I'm with UTA, and they told me about the opportunity. So I have no idea. They might have DM'd me because I heard a lot of people got DM'd.
Right.
And you were like, yes, I'm in.
Yeah,
Traitors, I'm down.
And I'd only watched the second season of the US, and like I watched it, I liked it, but I wasn't sure how much strategy there was. Like I love a lot of strategy and the feeling like I can win if you're smart enough type thing. So then I was like, not on the fence, but I was like, I need to do more research. I watched UK season 2 and was hooked. So then I like went down the rabbit hole and was like, oh, I'm doing this show.
Right.
What
Then
did
get sucked in.
Yeah, what did you think of the comparisons between you and Pilot Pete in the second season? Everyone was like, Dylan's our Pilot Pete of this season.
Sorry.
Oh,
No, you're good.
There we go.
Oh, did I
losing
do
the
that?
mic for a second? You got it?
I just popped out for a second.
Okay.
You're good.
I'll re-ask you.
Okay.
How did you feel about all the comparisons then? If you watched the second season, everyone thought you and Pilot Pete were like playing the same kind of game.
I wasn't offended by it at all.
Yeah.
Because like when I signed up to do the show, he was the one person I called for advice and was just like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this show. Should I do it? It was a quick call. He was just like, dude, it was the time of my life. I really enjoyed it. Like, don't even think twice. Sign up. So hearing that from him, who I respected from that season, was like, all right, let's do this thing.
Was it kind of crazy to watch back and see Parvati compare you to Pilot Pete?
She-
That was crazy. She clocked that.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it. They were chirping from over there. I could hear everything they said.
Did you get to a point where you were like, okay, I'm crushing this. I'm on to everybody. Now people are going to think I'm a traitor?
Like that last round table with Brittany, she threw, like I wasn't expecting that. Dolores told me right before we walked in that she was coming for me, and I was just like, what does she have on me? And so I wasn't expecting. You can tell I kind of got like defensive. I wasn't expecting her to come at me. So no, like once I got Bob the drag queen, it really cleared my name, and all I was worried about was murders after that. I wasn't worried about getting banished.
It's amazing you didn't get murdered.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That is so true.
I mean,
Do you think your friendship with Danielle played a big part in that, most likely?
Huge.
When do you think you started to suspect Danielle, or was it really not until the end?
No, it was there was a very clear moment. Do you remember the murder in plain sight when Chriselle got murdered?
Yes.
Yeah.
We woke up that day, and that was when we first started playing the like, why am I still here game?
Yeah.
And it just became, there's less people, so it becomes easier. And I was like, okay, I'm still here because Danielle's protecting me. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense. So then I'm in the car with Tom, and we're like, all right, Tom, why are you still here? Who's protecting you? And we both came to the conclusion it's Carolyn. And it just made so much sense. It was like on camera, off camera. If anyone said anything slightly mean about Tom, Carolyn would step in and say, don't say that. He's a good person, all these things. So we were just like, oh my gosh, like, Gabby would have killed us day one. Like, it just made so much sense. It's not Ivor. Like, we were like, we know it's these two. We go to that chessboard game, and it was like so obvious. They just kind of dug their own grave.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody watching was so proud of you for holding your own against Danielle when she was, begging and almost crying. She was like, please don't do this. And you were like, I'm going to stick to this. In that moment at the round table, was there a moment where you were going to flip, or were you always going to go Danielle?
No, I wasn't going to flip, but it wasn't easy. It was like, I felt so bad because she's a friend and she's pleading. Like, I know she's a traitor, but it's hard to do that to a friend.
Yeah.
But what you don't see is Gabby and I, like, towards the end of I was very on Gabby. I thought she was a traitor, 100%. But again, that same day, I realized it's not Gabby, the murder in plain sight day. So then I started working with her, and we knew going into that round table, I was like, we were aligned. We're like, we're going after Danielle tonight. She's going after you. Like, I'll have your back, but you have to do this. Like, you have to speak at the round table. Like, I can't do it against Danielle. And I even tipped Danielle off, but I tried to wait till the very last second so she couldn't strategize. She still strategized. So I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she had the plan in her head no matter what anyway at that point. When Dolores was like so adamant that it was Ivor, Gabby, like she was not going to write Danielle. Did you at any point, like, were you guys trying to convince her it was Danielle? Because that we didn't really see.
100%.
Yeah.
But the credit I give Dolores was being upfront about it. Because once she said, Dylan, like, I am not writing Dolores or Danielle's name no matter what, I could strategize. I could say like, oh, okay, like I was going to keep Danielle another day, but now we actually have to get her out tonight. Otherwise we're going to lose this game.
Right.
So like the fact that she was honest with me allowed me to like strategize.
Right, because you're like, we are not going to have this number no matter what.
I was so frustrated. Like nothing I could say would have convinced her to vote Danielle.
I mean, we were dying watching Dolores. We love Dolores, but we were like, she really is treating this like it's Housewives of New Jersey. Like she thinks if someone says they're not a traitor, that means they're really not a traitor. 100%. Like she's all about the loyalty. Like I think she's forgetting what game she's playing where someone has to be lying to her, which was, you know, as a viewer and probably in your position, you're a little frustrated. But you appreciate her loyalty as well because she was loyal to you.
And that's why she won. Like she was respected as the most loyal person in the house. That's why Danielle wanted to take her to the end. Like she was loyal and that's why she won. So it is like credit to her. She won the game and it's not like she was gifted the game. Same with Ivor. They played a different strategy than I did.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the Housewives being such targets in the beginning, they just kind of went one after another. That it's a credit to Dolores that she was able to stick around all the way to the end.
That was all Bob the Drag Queen.
Yeah. Now, and then when you filmed the reunion, did it feel like the Housewives had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder?
For sure. Yeah, but it was also funny too because like the winners, we don't have anything to say. Like this isn't for us.
Yeah.
Like we wanted them to have their moment, the people that got slighted, everything. So we're like out there and it felt like, we're like going through the motions type thing. The Housewives walked out and I was like, oh shit, this is like Watch What Happens Live. Yeah, this is an Andy Cohen show.
They're used to this.
Yeah, it was like once Dorinda and Ion walked out, I was like, oh shit, here we go, grab the popcorn.
Right. You feel like you have a front row seat to one of their reunions.
It was great.
Yeah. Now, once the filming ended and kind of post Traitors, is it a little bit disorienting because you're in your life? You're like, are you a traitor? Are you a faithful? How do you feel once it all ends?
I think I was lucky because I won. So like it felt like a closed chapter for me. I went back to normal life. Like all I wanted to do is like lay in the sun, go in the ocean. Like I wanted to just get back to who I am. But the people that got slighted or like didn't get that closure, I think like Carolyn was really like calling after the show, just like she needed closure and she never got it. She's like, why did this happen? Like, where did I mess up? And I think that's when it's hard.
Yeah.
But I didn't have
it always goes beyond the game.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Watching it back has got to be interesting too because you see those conversations that you weren't there for. What was happening in the turret, the drama with the Traitors. What were you thinking watching the Traitors really go after each other like the whole season? From the beginning, the Traitors were not on the same page.
No, and it's so weird when you're in the castle, you really don't know that. Like we were questioning some of the murders they had. We were confused by them a lot, but we had no idea. So like I was saying, I was the best traitor on the show because I was trying to bring Danielle and Carolyn together the whole season. I was just like, I do not understand why you guys are fighting. Just like, can't we all get along? We're doing great.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on. So.
And they didn't listen to you. It really was shocking to watch because, the smart strategy would be stick together, but they couldn't do it. They could not stick together, which I think at first everyone was like, oh my God, these traitors are awful. But then when you continue to watch, you're like, this is amazing. Like, I need them to keep killing each other off because now we're just fully rooting for the faithfuls.
Yeah, I think the traitors did I know they got a lot of heat, but when I look back at the season, and this is how I felt on episode 11, like at the end, I was like, wow, Bob the Drag Queen had this show on his back for 4 episodes. Boston Rob had the show on his back for 3 episodes. Danielle and Carolyn had the show on their back for the last 3. It was like they really carried the season. So as much as like people give them crap for like being bad traitors, they made good TV.
Right. Yeah, that is very true.
And bad traitors, but made it like Danielle made it really far. So as much as people got frustrated with her and didn't like the way that she was playing, she did make it really far, which means in that house she was playing a good game. And
that's the thing too, is like, yeah, like Tom and I knew Danielle was a traitor, so like we were playing that game of like, should we keep her around, should we not? And it, like, so we have a leg up. But then it was like, once Dolores said she wasn't going to vote for her, like if she was one round table away from winning. Like even if we knew she was a traitor, we couldn't have done anything about it.
For sure. Right. Now, how has your life changed post Traitors? Because I mean, you have all of this fan love now. Were you expecting that?
No, it's been awesome. It's really cool.
Like, it's pretty sick.
Yeah. Just mainly because it's like I don't feel like anything's changed at all. Like I still am doing everything I did before, and I didn't put on an act really. So I think people are just seeing me and are liking it, which is like the best feeling in the world.
Right. There's something really comforting about people liking you for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if you were a traitor and you had to go in there and lie and do all that, it's not really, it's not really you.
Yeah.
So then you have a different display of yourself to everybody else.
When you're playing as a Faithful too, it's like you said, you're honest, true. It's like this. It's a golden boy is a raw, like it's like maybe a little much, but it's like they're like, this is our golden boy. Right. Like, look at him telling the truth, getting these traitors out. When you guys were at the end and you're doing the smoke and the whole thing, did you have any doubts about the other 3 while in the moment?
So we all strategized for what we were gonna do if someone threw red. So like before Brittany came at me, I was strategizing more because I was like, this show is designed for 2 winners, if you're a Faithful. Like the fact that they don't reveal who the last traitor is. Like it's designed, the smart strategy is to bring it down to 2. So I was doing that. Like I think at the time it was going to be me and Gabby, as long as she was aligned. Like I was still earning her trust.
Right.
But I had kind of made that strategy to end it with me and Gabby. And then once I had the round table with Brittany, I was just like, holy shit, like I know for sure Brittany's a traitor now. I know they're all Faithfuls, so like there's no point in me bringing it down to 2. Like if someone throws red, I know what to do, but I'm not going to make that call.
I know, like obviously, there's money, you win, there's a prize, like it's a good amount of money, but when you obviously becomes less when you split it more ways. Was that ever discussed, or was everyone like, we really believe we're all Faithful, so let's split it? Because it's, cuts your money in half.
Yeah, but so let's do the math real quick. It's let's say we cut Dolores out first, so then we won with 3 people.
Yep.
I think that's $50K split 3 ways. We got, I'm not that good at math. 17K after tax, $10K. Like Dolores' friendship, $10K.
Right.
What like it wasn't really a factor for us.
Right.
If it was $1 million prize pie, I think we would have. We would have thought twice, maybe.
But also more to share.
Have you seen some of like the online chatter of, because the show is so popular and everybody loves it, there's been like different points of the game that they're challenging, of like, hey, maybe we should change this, maybe make the prize pot bigger, maybe the challenges change a little bit. What do you think about that? Like, how do you think the game would change if it was more money?
I don't, like, I'm on the stance that I don't think the game needs to change.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's perfect.
Totally. Like, of course, I want more physical challenges. Every time there's a physical challenge, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But then, like, I see why they can't do only physical challenges. Like the trivia wasn't not my chance to win, and like of course I lost that mission, but that's giving people who aren't physical a chance to win. So it's good. Of course, like more money for sure. Like
more money, but then now you're gonna be like, shit, I wish I was on the next season.
It's crazy because it definitely would It definitely would play a part for sure.
Yeah, there would be much more greed coming into play.
For sure. People would be like, as feisty as they would be even feistier.
Yeah.
Was there at any point, did you want to be a traitor or did you want to be a faithful?
No, so going in, I've played a lot of Mafia. Have you guys played that game?
Yeah.
And I hate being the traitor. So going in, I knew I wanted to be a faithful, but I didn't want to like ruin the show by saying that. Like I saw Sam go in and just say like, no, I want to be a faithful. I was like, you could do that? So I was like, yeah, I want to, I don't care, but like I'd rather be a faithful. So I was trying to like play it up. I wanted to be a faithful, and I think I told Alan as well, like I either want to be a faithful or recruited. And if I was recruited, that would have been my chance to take all the money for sure.
Right.
So I was in a good spot.
Yeah. How did you sleep at night?
Oh, terribly. It's so like you don't get much sleep. And I didn't have any supplements or anything. That was just a stupid me. Like I put all my supplements into one bag, and as soon as I showed up, they're like, you can't have any supplements that aren't labeled. So they just took all my supplements out the day I arrived. So I didn't have any. Yeah, I got
just
sick.
Just a loose bag of pills. You're not going to be allowed to take this.
Like, I was the most underprepared in that sense. I threw my outfits together, stuff like that. But every night we'd get home maybe 2 a.m. or something, and they'd give you like a little Scottish sleeping pill, which is like magnesium or something. Like it's very basic.
Very light melatonin.
I would try to get 4. I'm like, come on, give me cook it up, like please. Yeah. It was all I cared about. There's like all these snacks and stuff. I'm like, give me 3, give me 4.
Yeah, because we saw Sierra say on Summer House that you guys got your phones once a week for 30 minutes or once every 6 days for 30 minutes.
So that's about it. Some people got it more, I think. It depends on the loud voices get fed or whatever.
Right. Now, was there any worry that people were going to be texting each other if they got their phone, or was it monitored?
It was all monitored. So, a fun part was like when we first got our phones, the cast list was out like to the public. So I remember I called my girlfriend and I can't respond, but there's someone there and she's like, can I tell you like who the people on the cast are and like who I think you should be friends with? So she starts talking, but I have it on mute, so I like can't respond. The moderator's right there, and she's just like, she's a Bravo fan, so she's like, I think you're gonna get along with Sierra, and I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, she's just giving me background on everybody. She's like, Dolores is fiery, like, but if she's on your team, it's good. I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. It was kind of like giving me like or I don't know, like confirmation.
No, that's incredible. So you couldn't vocally
I couldn't
respond.
vocalize. No,
that's so interesting.
Wow, that's
like
amazing.
she's just like, okay, I'm just gonna talk.
Yeah,
but shout out to her for giving you the strategy.
Yeah, no, it was fun because a lot of them I didn't know going in, and now I'm more versed in the Bravo world.
Right. Now it's a lot. Yeah. Do you think there's any new Bravo shows you'll pick up now that you've met some of these people?
Like which ones I've been watching?
Yeah,
Summer House.
Yeah.
I really like Southern Charm too.
Okay,
Southern Charm's hilarious.
Now you're into Summer House and Southern Charm.
Yeah.
Are you
they
up?
Kind of cross over a little bit.
They do. They definitely
especially
do.
lately.
Yeah, I know. I actually think Craig would be I want Craig to do. He'd be really good on the Traitors because they're always his whole thing every season is like Craig's a liar. So let's put the lying to the test.
And he's a lawyer and stuff. He'd make a good traitor.
I think I think it would actually be very good. You mentioned that you kind of like threw all your outfits together. Were you surprised with how everybody was stepping out when they were doing the show?
No, I knew people would bring it. But I knew I wasn't going to be the one making headlines. I actually did for a few of my sweaters, which was shocking. But But yeah, I went much more with the comfort. Like I was wearing Birkenstocks. Like, yeah, this is our home. Like, let's treat it that way. I was wearing Birkenstocks, sweaters. Yeah.
I love Dolores towards the end was just like, I'm not doing it anymore. She's just like, I'm wearing my comfy clothes. I can't keep doing this.
I mean, how can you blame her?
Yeah, no.
Every morning she's like, oh, it's me and I'm ready to go. I'm like, I'm getting murdered. And she's like, oh, it wasn't me. All right.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. We had Boston Rob in here a few weeks ago.
It was great.
It was great. And he does love you. And I think everybody.
I love him too.
Everybody's watched that bromance form. And there was maybe even some jealousy at the reunion. I felt like they were like, oh, Bob Harper was like, nobody's picking me up from the airport.
I had to go to his hot yoga class yesterday because I was had to make amends.
Yeah.
All the Robs, all the Bobs.
What? How fun has it been to keep that friendship going?
It's great. We're actually going to Florida to the Players Championship next week.
So nice.
So we're gonna hang out more, make some more videos, I'm sure.
Oh, that's amazing.
Funniest thing, like seeing people, because I think there is a whole world of a new generation that's being introduced to Boston Rob for the first time.
Yeah.
Even on my flight, we were traveling yesterday. There were 2 young girls behind me, and they were like, "Oh my God, have you seen young Boston Rob?" Like, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
And they were like, and the mom, they were traveling with their mom. Their mom was like, "Oh my God, you never watched the Survivor seasons?" He has 4 daughters. Like, it's so sweet.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, Ciara said it at the reunion. She was like, "I didn't know you were like hot."
Yeah.
And I was like,
and then Bob the drag queen's like, "We're hot is crazy."
Yeah, oh my God, it's amazing. Were you a little jealous of the Emilio Bailados dinner that happened the other night?
Oh yeah, I wanted to be there. Yeah. I was definitely jealous.
It looked.
But my agent actually put that together, which is cool.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's amazing. So, are there any other like friendships you think you'll obviously Boston Rob? Any other friendships you think you'll really take away from the game?
Yeah, so the hard part is like, and this goes back to like what I do on social media. Like, I'm so blessed to have friends all over the world.
Yeah.
But that at the end of the day, they live all over the world. So it's like we stay in touch over the phone and stuff like that. But as far as like who I'm seeing in LA, like I've seen Sam quite a bit. Really like Sam. He's great. And then Wells, I play golf with a lot. So
justice for Wells.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough one for Wells. Did you see all the jokes towards the beginning of the season? Because when they were really like putting everybody's names to identify everybody, and everyone kind of had their show underneath, and you're so down to earth, and everyone was like, "Wow, just thought he was being described as a down-to-earth Dylan. Down-to-earth guy.
Down-to-earth guy."
Did you see all that?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. So if so many people still don't know.
Well, I thought it was very funny.
It was.
Yeah.
And it was cool because like I went in with such a low bar. Like it really was. Maybe like Sam and I were about the same. They're like, what are these two doing on the show? But I really enjoyed that because it was like, I didn't have to do that much to be like, oh, wow, he's smart. Like, he has a brain. Like, people were just expecting me to be a fly on the wall and, like, just be there to be there. So it was cool. It was a good place. I like having a low bar.
Yeah, it's always the good place to start.
You're like,
you can only go up.
Nice guy, tell the truth, and it's up from there.
That's it. Like
exactly.
I played a golf tournament the other day. I had the worst round, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's okay. He's getting better." And then I played really good the next day, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay." Like, I just have to hit the bottom.
Just low to start, and we'll bring it back up for everybody. Well, it was just so much fun watching. Do you think? Like, did you get the bug to do more shows?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's how I've lived my life, to be honest. It's like I've always chased experiences, and that's why I love travel and learning new stuff. So like, to me, this was an experience of a lifetime. And if I can do that again on another show, like Special Forces, for example, like being able to jump off a helicopter and then like stuff like that.
Yeah, that
like,
would be a great one.
Yeah, like I'm super down for more experiences. I want to take my time and like find the right next step and everything, but yeah, I'm definitely down.
And
Special Forces is a good one because you are, and they put you in. You know, you're traveling all over the place too.
Are you in on Survivor if they ask you?
I think you have to apply, and it would honestly be up to Jeff Probst. Like I don't know.
Have you met him yet?
I have met him once. He's really nice. So I would totally do it, but it seems like they don't really cast people. Like they want to find those unique people. So
yeah, I mean, we know it's
we have
Tommy's been
trying to help workers.
I saw he talked to him the other day.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, and you and Tommy actually said a similar thing. Like you said before about Traitors, you wanted to know about the strategy that goes into the game.
Yep.
Because Tommy now, he's just like, I'll go on whatever reality show. He's like, but I want to know if there's strategy. He's like, I don't want to go on a show unless I have to strategize.
I would go on Survivor with Tommy. That would be we'd form an alliance, and I'd cut his throat first.
You would have to before he gets you, because you know he would turn on you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. No, that is for sure. Well, we can't wait to see what show you decide to do next. I think it was so much fun watching you on Traitors. It was a blast. Congratulations on
huge
on
congratulations.
winning. It was really like such a great satisfaction for everybody.
Yeah, I was like kicking my feet. I was like, yay!
I know, really, it was great. So thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Dylan.